Oh, hello. We're hanging around Williams Stadium today because our intel places our culprit around here and says he spends at least 36 hours a day here. So my eyes are gonna definitely see him if it... Blimey, there he is now! Oi!
Oh no, I see the bugger, but he's over there, and I'm all the way over here. Now that's quite some distance between us, but as any good Australian private investigator knows, any distance between 2 points can be correctly represented by the good old right triangle. Now, using the equation for the area of a triangle, and assuming that the horizontal distance between us is 40 yards, and the vertical distance between us is about 25 yards, I need to know the area of the triangle that I'm about to traverse. Alright, thankfully I've got legs like a cheetah, and I've used them to close the gap to form this new, smaller triangle. Now, using my keen Australian eye, I can just tell that the area of this new triangle is about 100 square yards. And thanks to the football field, I know that the height of the triangle is about 20 yards. So, using the same equation as before, what is the base of this new triangle? Criminy Jim Jam, I got him! Right on the 32. And since I started on the goal line, that would suggest I ran about 70 yards, but it definitely felt like more than that. So in order to solve this problem, I'm going to have to elicit the help of my good friend, Pythagorean, or as some might incorrectly say, Pythagorean. Anyway, this bloke Pythagorean once came up with a theorem to relate the three sides of a triangle, saying that if you add the squares of the two smaller sides, you're going to get the square of the larger side. So, if I was originally 25 yards away from him vertically, and I ended up running 70 yards horizontally, by plugging that into the equation of a squared plus b squared equals c squared, how far was my total running? And while you figure that out, let's take advantage of my other old friend, the good old instant replay.
Well, hello. Now you might be wondering, what am I doing in an on-campus housing location? And the answer is, I'm trying to sneak up on my arch nemesis, Caleb McGravy. He's essentially my equal in every way, but he's on the bad side of things. I've never been able to nab him. And so I'm living on campus, and I've even got a fake student email address. But wouldn't you know it, he found me anyway. And he sent me this email. Here, I'll show you. See how he challenges me. Don't mind the name, by the way. That's clearly my fake student email. And it reads, a challenge for you. Dear Ed Johns, first of all, you will never defeat me. Oh, how he mocks me. Secondly, if you were a real private investigator, you would be able to drink the entire jug of poison I sent you in under 2 minutes. Sincerely, Caleb McGravy. Now, what he doesn't know is I'm clearly immune to all poison. So that's a mistake on his part. But I'm never one to shrink from a challenge. So let's go. Alright, so here's the jug of poison I got from him in the mail. Now I haven't really measured it yet, but I know for a fact that the human stomach without expanding can contain about 122 cubic inches of liquid. And I'm sure this is less than that. So let's show Caleb McGravy who's boss. Now, I never actually checked to see how much poison is in the jug, but using a nifty little tool I like to call algebra, we can figure it out really quickly. Now, we know the volume of a cylinder is pi multiplied by the height of the cylinder multiplied by the radius of the cylinder squared. So, if we assume the height of this jug is 5 inches and that the radius of this jug is 2 inches, what would be the volume of poison inside the jug?
Uh-oh. It looks like I'm having a bit of trouble there. Mainly because the real radius of that cylinder turned out to be 3 inches, while the real height ended up being 6 inches. So, based on the equation we had before, do you think that I'll be able to pull this off? Alright, I think at this point it's clear that this was a bit too much for me to handle. But it poses an interesting question. If we were to keep the radius of the cylinder the same, at 3 inches, and keeping in mind that the average stomach can hold about 122 cubic inches of liquid, what would be the maximum height that the cylinder could be and have me still emerge victorious? Well, I guess even I learned a valuable lesson today. You can't win 'em all.